So Zohran Mamdani just became the first Muslim mayor of New York City. And 50 Cent, who is a New York native, is not too happy about that. In fact, he just posted this on his Instagram, saying rest in peace to New York.
DL just went full throttle on 50 Cent, and honestly, he had a point. He's calling out the rapper for pretending to be for the people, while immediately flipping out the moment a policy comes along that could actually benefit everyday New Yorkers. If you haven't been keeping up, Zohran Mamdani has officially been elected as New York City's new mayor. But here's the kicker. He hasn't even moved into City Hall yet, and 50 Cent is already acting like the city is doomed. DL isn't holding back. He fired off shots at 50, exposing him for what many are calling a fake ally to the public. According to DL, this isn't about politics, it's about authenticity. He's frustrated with celebrities who posture as champions for the people until the stakes are real, then panic or throw shade. The drama has escalated so much that even Mamdani, the political heavyweight often pulled into NYC debates, felt compelled to comment. DL's critique has sparked a wave of conversation online, highlighting the tension between celebrity opinions and actual community impact. In short, DL is challenging the optics of influence versus action, while 50 Cent's reaction has turned into a flashpoint for debate. The situation is a classic clash between real-world policy and celebrity commentary. One side wants to see tangible change, the other reacts theatrically, and social media amplifies everything. This is why DL's call-out has resonated with so many, painting 50 as someone more performative than practical when it comes to supporting everyday New Yorkers.
The working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands. Tonight, against all odds, we have grasped it. The future is in our hands.
Here's the rundown. The sparks flew after Zohran Mamdani made history as New York City's first Muslim mayor, running on one of the most progressive platforms the city has ever seen, talking rent freezes, affordable housing, and free public transit. Policies aimed at easing the burden on working-class New Yorkers rather than catering to the ultra-rich. And that's the part that clearly rubbed 50 Cent the wrong way. Shortly after Mamdani's victory, 50 took to social media like a storm. He posted an image of a tombstone reading, RIP NYC 2025, implying the city was dead under the new administration. He followed that up with a photo of himself dining with friends, captioned, "Escape from New York. Hit the road. All roads lead to Shreveport." For context, Shreveport, Louisiana, is where 50 Cent has been building a $50 million entertainment and film empire through G-Unit Film and Television, turning the city into the centerpiece of his business ventures. The message was clear. If you want to work with him, Shreveport is the destination now. So, why the meltdown over Mamdani? Her agenda includes a 2% income tax hike for those earning over $1 million, an 11.5% corporate tax rate, and reforms to the property tax system that has historically favored billion-dollar penthouses in Manhattan while squeezing outer borough homeowners. Mamdani's policies are aimed at shifting some of the tax burden from working-class neighborhoods to luxury properties in Central Park South and similar areas, a direct challenge to the wealth and privileges of the city's elite. Naturally, the internet went off on 50. Social media users called him out for being a hypocrite, reminding him of his roots. Comments highlighted how he once relied on the very public systems he now seems to disdain, like taxpayer-funded hospital care when he was a kid, or food assistance programs for his grandmother. Fans mocked him, saying things like, "Won't be long before he's in Tel Aviv kissing the wall, LOL," showing just how fast the narrative flipped against him. And that's when DL Hughley weighed in. He didn't hold back. DL called out 50 Cent for crying over policies designed to help the very communities he came from, pointing out the hypocrisy of wealthy celebrities who stayed silent when Trump cut food stamps, yet now are spreading fear over Mamdani's progressive agenda. DL's message was clear. The same folks 50 used to relate to are now the ones his complaints would hurt the most, and pretending to defend the city while attacking policies meant to empower residents doesn't sit right with anyone paying attention.
Here's what's interesting to me. So Mamdani is going to be the new mayor of New York, 34-year-old kid. Like I said, I live in New York. I couldn't vote in that election, but if I could, it would have been an easy choice. But here's what I really don't understand. The man.
Here's the breakdown. Mamdani didn't let 50 Cent's antics slide and fired back, setting the record straight about his tax plan. When 50 joked that he'd pay Donnie nearly $286,000 just to leave New York City, Mamdani laughed it off, making it clear that 50 fundamentally misunderstands how taxing the top 1% could benefit everyone, including those very wealthy earners. In his response, Donnie emphasized that asking those making over $1 million a year to contribute 2% more is a small step toward an economic agenda that could improve the lives of all New Yorkers. He highlighted that, even amid threats and backlash, he stays focused on policy over panic. 50, of course, wasn't satisfied. He reposted Mamdani's clip to his Instagram, adding his take. He admitted the intentions might be good but claimed the tax plan would run the big money out of the city, and added a scare line about defunding the police, finishing with, "All roads lead to Shreveport." Classic rich people fear-mongering. Threatening to leave whenever taxes rise is nothing new. New York has been hearing this since the 70s, and almost nobody actually leaves. The city's wealth, deals, and opportunities are simply too central to abandon. Take Bill Ammon, a billionaire hedge fund mogul, for example. During the election, Ammon blasted Mamdani, going far beyond policy critiques. He shared racially charged posts, painted Donnie as a radical threat, and declared he'd move to Florida if Mamdani won. Yet the moment Mamdani secured the victory, Ammon flipped the script, tweeting congratulations and offering help to support the city. His supposed exit plan disappeared instantly. That's the pattern. Wealthy individuals bluff, trying to scare politicians and the public, acting like the city will crumble if taxes rise, only to pivot and play nice once their bluff doesn't succeed. It's all a strategic dance. These billionaires know they can't replicate New York's ecosystem elsewhere. The talent, investors, and infrastructure aren't in Florida or Louisiana. Bluffing is their way to maintain influence, hoping to pressure policymakers while keeping the city's perks firmly in their hands. Meanwhile, Mamdani's response underscores that well-crafted policy can withstand these theatrics, and that bold reform isn't something to be intimidated by celebrity threats. In short, the rich threaten to leave, the city moves on, and the only thing that changes is the optics, but the money stays put. Here's the lowdown. The whole dust-up with 50 Cent and Acme perfectly highlights a recurring pattern. When even a tiny portion of their wealth or influence is threatened, the ultra-rich blow up fear, exaggerate disaster, and act like they're standing up for everyday folks. Yet, in reality, they remain firmly planted, raking in money while pretending the city is on the brink. Take 50's claim that Mamdani is going to defund the police. If he actually read the policy, he'd know that Mamdani isn't talking about dismantling law enforcement entirely. The plan focuses on rebalancing budgets, shifting funds into housing, mental health, and community programs, rather than endlessly funneling millions into a department that still can't stop crime effectively. This isn't a purge. It's smart, preventive policy. Cities that invest in people tend to see less crime, not more, and that's backed by evidence. Meanwhile, 50's posts play right into fear-mongering. The wealthy might leave, the city will collapse. But this panic is really for the benefit of the few at the top. While average New Yorkers stress about rent and commuting, 50 is fretting over a tax increase that barely dents his fortune. DL Hughley called out this disconnect perfectly. The same people who built empires from rags to riches suddenly act like the struggle of everyday folks is a threat. Ultimately, this isn't just about 50 Cent throwing a tantrum. It's emblematic of a broader pattern. When real progress is proposed, policies that improve life for working-class New Yorkers, the elite lash out. Mamdani's agenda is about uplifting communities, creating fairness, and investing in the people who actually keep the city running. Yet the rich respond with faux panic, claiming the city is doomed, all while continuing to profit from it. So, here's the question for you. Do you side with 50, thinking Mamdani's policies will wreck New York? Or do you see this as another case of someone forgetting their roots the moment they hit it big? Drop your thoughts below. because the story isn't just politics, it's a lesson in power, perception, and the persistent gap between the city's elite and its people.